Okay. Okay, we are all live. This is so amazing. There are already 4 people. Thank you, those who have joined the U-Turn show. It's a pleasure to always see you. If you are new to this platform, the U-Turn is an empowerment platform that is creating educational content, inspiring content, and oftentimes spotlighting women and men in our communities that are making impactful work to our community. So today we have a very important topic where we, the U-Turn ladies, we are usually the co-hosts, but today we are the one that making roundtable discussion on this important topic of what success means, especially rooting it from our indigenous perspective or indigenous context of African, of South Sudanese, and where we come from, of Dinka communities where we grew up, and also looking at from a modern perspective, what does it mean right now? Because we talk about empowerment, and our empowerment is usually more about women empowerment. And on that note, today is an International Day of the Girl Child, so we want to take this opportunity as well as a celebration of women, of young girls. So we recognize, and this conversation we will explore it from perspective of women. What does a successful woman look like in our past, and what does success mean now? What does empowerment mean now? And rooting it in the context of where we come from, because if you don't know where you come from, if you don't know your root, your identity, you can superficially, be drowned into things that you don't know, that you think they are successful but might not. So this conversation today will be rich, and Alakir here, Dorcas here, and you yourself who is watching, also we will love to hear your perspective on this topic. So my ladies, welcome on board. Good to see you. And I know maybe you have some reflection on International Day of the Girl. If you were to take it 1 second, what message would you tell yourself as a girl today? I know you may talk like, who that guy is, I want to thank me. Who was that, Anaki? So,
That's Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg. So as young ladies, I'm the old woman here on the show. So ladies, how do you feel about your day today? I celebrate you, I see you, but I just want you to share 1 minute how you feel about today and yourself. Maybe Alakiri can go first because you already unmuted.
Absolutely. First of all, I don't feel like a girl anymore. I've grown into a woman, and I just want to say thank you to myself. The little girl holding on to a textbook of science in elementary school, holding on to the book of biology in high school, excited about assignments and curiosity, reading about anything and everything, just to wondering. Like, I have this sense of awe about the world around me, and I want to say that has taken me to be who I am today, and also the people who out there, organizations that are supporting the girl child education. Shout out to Key Program in Kakuma Refugee Camp in collaboration with, um, uh, I think, Equity and WUSC, Wall University Services of Canada. And then shout out to WUSC, who has supported my education up to this point. I still keep in touch with the organization. But very important person is shout out to my auntie who 100%, 150% believe in education as something that I need to value. She has not gone into a Western education, but has always advised me to keep studying, and it could change my life. So I want to say thank you to my auntie. She passed at the beginning of last year, so may her soul rest in peace. And every auntie and grandmothers and mothers that have contributed to who I am today. Every single word has shaped my worldview. It has shaped who I want to be and how I show up in the world. And I really am grateful today. We're talking about what success means. Oftentimes we get lost in chasing success for other people, but what does it mean to chase success for yourself? So if you're successful, doesn't mean there's not more to accomplish. But that's where I am today, full of gratitude, and thank you so much. I'm always excited to hang out with Akwalkur, Adija Alier. We hang out a lot behind the scenes, by the way, and then we come give you, bless you guys with our brilliant ideas. So stay tuned. Adij, back to you.
Okay, hi everyone. And first of all, I will say thanks to those that have been pushing me to where I am today, beginning from childhood, primary school, high school. Then the second one is to me, thanks to me, because it is started the decision making to be where you are today. Yes, parent can pull you to be that, but still it depends on you what you decide and what you want. So thank to the parent, the relative that have been pushing me to where I am today, to Dokas, Taran, to Mastercard. Mastercard that is sponsoring my education today. So it's really a privilege and amazing. And the first thing is that I like being a woman. It is expensive, amazing. The community cannot exist without me. So to make it an amazing thing. And I will ever accept and proud to say I'm happy to be a woman, and I'm also grateful to be born a new generation that has flexible system that is somehow at some point uplifting the woman compared to the traditional society system. Therefore, it is upon me, upon the auntie that is out there, the girl that's out there to use this system and try to elevate from our mothers and grandmothers. So that's what I can say. So therefore, every girl child out there, it is not bad to be a girl. It's a privilege, amazing. It is just that you need to accept and make sure that you accept the privileges of being a girl in the generation, because as a girl, you can do anything a man can do. You can go to school, you can study, you can be a career woman, you can be a leader. That's it.
Wow, 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 wow. Happy, happy to hear from girls, from senior girls, like you, to young girls, Dorcas, and to all the girls out there. And, those who are watching, please share this video. It's a very important discussion today by the U-turn ladies. Um, we usually don't get, time to talk because we spotlight many of our guests, but now we are spotlighting ourselves because it's a women's girls day. So I feel girly too. I want to thank myself as well. I Snoop Dogg for being that girl who worked so hard to make it to this place and to be on the U-turn platform, sharing the ideas, the discussions and everything. So it's not easy, and it's been a journey. And we recognize those who are still in the journey, and we support you. We recognize our brothers, our uncles, our fathers who are supporting us in this journey called life, and who are championing for women empowerment and empowerment of our communities. So we will dive right into the topic of today, and the topic of today is more about redefining what success look like, and from the perspective of traditional ways of knowing and the modern realities that we are in. And so I want to ask this question, and of course, you ladies, you can take it where what perspective you share, and also those who are in the comment section, feel free to answer the questions and let us know. So the first question that I would ask you, Alakir, and I will also answer it at the end once you and Adish have gone, is how did traditional societies, if you have heard from your grandmothers, from the literature book, how did traditional societies, especially African societies, define success? And what values shape those definitions from your own experience, Alakir?
Thank you, Kwalkur. I will answer from what I can infer from my upbringing and the home education. Education is both home and at school. And if you haven't gone to school, doesn't mean you're not educated. So education in the traditional context, teacher being in balwel tong achan irrelevant non ko jam tong so tiene ko in one by success means I in my opinion, eba jal from one phase of life to the other. Na met imijal from childhood, imijal from at the very beginning. In met in ngori keni ko jor, imipioj by a rear, imipioj by a mol, a bachat. So it's a journey of passing through the stages of life, and that indigenous way of teaching is grounded in that, preparing people for the next phase. So agolen ke met a chidiet ke achimet cha achinarin ke there's a ceremony that's some sort of initiation to the next phase of life. Rani chikoch rani chimer koji achinarin ke is member of society or she's a member of society. Nale ben daman puberty kalu initiated to the youth biaran preparing to be a parent, and from being a parent to leadership, leading the community. So success then is how prepared you are for the next phase of life. And it wasn't like a strict exam at the end. No, it was people are there to support you. They're rooting for you. They want you to do well. Na you start getting education. Achan balo bamero diorich, right? So can I aunties and grandmothers I in pure one in maninji randit, or you are in the process of becoming randit in pure chokro kudia ini jamla kana koi dirin jamla ka koi yin, how to respect the boundaries, different classes of people, and so forth. So traditionally, I see those phases of life in there from childhood to youth, youth to adulthood, adulthood to becoming a leader. And the system used to be apprenticeship system. So na chinyante chitiak kachala pande, she's pregnant, kaladu pande bijabu pure what it means to be a mother. And that takes a whole maybe 5 people. How to take care of yourself, how to take care of the child, how to take care of the husband, and so forth. And that used to be extended 2 years program, maybe even more, depending on availability of resources and background being thing. Pandanity, I think it's more rigorous. Yin do pandun, babindiet, women do bedir, banyuet, bawan, go back and learn how to be a woman in your own household. Sometimes they don't come back until they are 15 or 16 or ready to be married. Could be yin win coin raising of the family. So I feel like success is very simple and very straightforward. And in modern world, yeah, maybe it's straightforward, maybe it is not. I just want to recognize that we do not exist completely in the new world. We bring who we are to where we are. Kayin bokin chipioj pandun kubar babin cheng rock kulwela ba the part of yourself that you were before pirog balwe cut off, things can go wrong. So the values really are, community, um, leadership, and leadership mean leading yourself, leading your family, and leading the community. So those are the indicators of success that I have observed in my community before Ben Law College. Maybe I missed some of them because I spent so much time in classrooms. I will let Adich answer the question what she has seen as the definition of success and what values shape it. Thank you.
Okay, to add on what Alakira just said, okay, I will talk briefly or let me speak specifically about the young community where I come from because I cannot talk really about the other community right now, but I think that they have some similarities, especially the African societies. So looking back and with especially what we hear from other people, so success was defined in the community through, let me say, the community commitment or working together as a community. Because if you look at the African Tanzanian society, you will see that everything was based on the community, success and growth. It was not on individual. Like if you are a leader, everything is to see how your community will look better than the other community, than the new community. So everything was us. It was not me. If you look into that, and you will see that in the African community, to be a successful person, you have to also have, let me say, respect or let me say integrity. Like you are someone who respect yourself a lot. You respect yourself, and even the community know that so and so. And such people were the ones that used to, by the way, rule out the community conflict and all those things. Just it does not come to just be a leader, or if there's any problem, they will call you to come and solve. It was about how you, let me say, uh, keep yourself and how you move, right? So then you will, people will just say that so and so can really be and do this thing. So it was about us, and let me say it was also about community wealth, or which start with individual or personal. And that's why you can see in African traditional society, you cannot be a leader of the community unless you have many kids and you are rich, you have many cows. So why? Because if you can be able to handle that and have that, then mean you'll handle the large community. So most of it all was about us, not me. That's why you can see in Dinga, a child was not raised as individual or as the parent raising the child alone. The child was for the community. Why? Everything was for the community. And that's why everything was like, our community don't do that. Our community does this. Why are you doing this? The children were trained to respect the community values, and everything was about the community. It was not about you. So that's how they define success. If you are someone who have respect, integrity, a community man, someone who is there to always work for the community, when there's an attack, every young man has to go and defend the community. That was based on community, and that's how the success was measured by then. So that's what I can say. And the values were integrity, respect, and let me say leadership. Yeah, so those were the values, and everything was based on us, not me. So that's how they build the success. But someone who have many kids, and let me say, back they used to have many kids to work for the community, to dig and make more food for the community, and to protect the community. Like if there's any attack, they will protect the community. Everything was about the community compared to now.
Wow, wow, wow! You girls have addressed a lot of questions, like a lot of ideas, and I think it make a lot of sense. I also agree with you in your definition from your knowledge, from your experience. It's everything about African traditional as well. From my knowledge and experience, was about community, about relationship. It was also about continuity of life. But now but now pandi, but now maldi. So everything was about that. And from women perspective, women were seen, empowered women from our traditional, successful women in our traditional sense. Women who were the nurturers of the community. Their purpose was to, you know, big idea the community, big meet the community there, big meet the community move. They were keepers of the wisdom. Kega came with pure cultural values. I remember even go watch it up but mama, enyan pure pan and go pure stories. And kid got me being like most of not I didn't spend a lot of time sitting with that and learn about the stories ke ya ngui ke ya wan ke ya choli nyane kor kwa choli nyane war. I learned those from my mom and that is, they pass down literature or history through that. So they were the custodians of culture, and that is, they were successful in that sense because that is their contribution. They tell, stories. They long spiritual balance that you can pay. And also, one very important thing that I also learned and I've observed from, our mothers, our grandmothers, our aunties is, successful women are women that, bring harmony and balance in the community. I think they are poor on Sarah because you care or big lie. So now think right, think care you think very loud. A successful or empowered woman is a woman who was grateful, who can hold it together. Who can, go through shit, but still show up, strong and with wisdom. So that's what I learned from that perspective. A woman that, carry legacy, making sure that, pa kwande adit biar ko, lo ka ke a go big can big tier, so that big pande bedir ku be actual wood. So those were some of the, the traditional, empowerment angles that I thought were things that we can highlight. And then from now modern perspective, we on the youth, and here, I want to tie in before we go to the next question, to contrast a little bit so that we can have a balanced discussion. And we're copying, and those who are watching, please put in your comment section some of the values, some of the ideas. Chake learn by yourself through observation, or Chake quit, but what empowerment means to men and to women. And work on this table, watch from women perspective. And for me, and from modern perspective, I feel like, empowerment is luce, right? It's not more about holding it together, keeping the legacy or the culture. It's not about continuity or raising many children. I feel like from modern perspective, the successful is about more about being visible, being independent, and someone who, who is balanced in the sense that, you balance your career and self-care. So I would feel like, being successful woman in this modern world is having a career, having financial, independence. You must have some business or earning some income, and having some sense of progress from modern perspective. You must also have some education, another way to any career measure from, a modern perspective, and some influence. But most importantly, having the, the ability to choose, freedom and choice, but madam boss, it's also another way, not from the statement aspect, but from, living it. Success means, having agency to make choice, to move out from situation that do not serve you really right now, which is different from one success. And it was not a mean about independence or moving away from hardship. It was about handling hardship. I just want to emphasize that. So there are so many ideas, but really, as we reflect today about success from both traditional perspective, the U-turn message here is: how do you balance, what or from, your own heritage, your tradition, um, the definition and the value that shape success at the time? How do you balance them with the modern realities of career, of choice, of freedom, of influence, of visibility? When and come with the, alignment with the realities of today and on yesterday. So that question is what you can answer. But I want us to move to the next question, maybe, continue reflecting, on it. I want to ask Alakir, the next question is about today. From your perspective, what success look like today, and who get to decide who is making it in life today from your own experience?
Um, yeah. So, like Adich said, I agree. Back then, it was about who has the most influence in the community. That person is considered successful. In the today's world, there is some sort of influence, and therefore the celebrity culture. But when it comes to us regular people, you get to decide who, like, what success means to you, or what the metric is. What do you want to use as the measure that you have become successful? You can adopt whatever is out there. I don't know, make $1 million. I don't know, get married by age 25. Those things are floating ideas out there. But also, as women in this age, and in this age of empowerment, and what we do on the U-turn, success is having resources to make full autonomous decisions, and this decision can be beneficial to the community or not. So this is where the point of disparity is. When back in the day, when women are held to the standard of holding it together, yin pandu akor ba muapiet, like duna kene lo yin bapol, duna kene lo yin bapol. Nowadays, when we advise young girls, it's not from the point of fear. But action, all your actions are based on fear that people will judge you or people will leave you. We are inspiring women to make the choice whether to stay or to leave, right? Not encourage one or the other. So now you young woman, and you want to base your success on the one thing is your ability to make decisions. And making decision might require resources, especially when you want to leave an uncomfortable and unpleasant situation. Then you might need to make money, maybe not a lot of money, just enough, to be okay by yourself, right? Not you alienated by a community. Personally, my that's what I think is success. You make enough money, so you can do whatever you like. Um, and to even that, actually exact metric, which in the only metric of success. There are different things you can consider. I've had conversation with Akwalkur about what it means to live in your purpose. So every single day doesn't turn into a dreadful day. Na paji mi adu, ye paji chipi you feel good about yourself, and that comes from a sense of success, that and like exactly what I want to do in this life is what I am doing. Some days I'll wake up not feeling great about it. Some days I'll wake up saying, amazing, I am grateful, I am in this space, and I'm doing exactly what I want to do. That's another metric of success. Ning metric of success, that you want to build a family, then, and you've gone to the point that you've built that family, and you wake up every day, look around you, and you see Kichalui built is what you actually like. That is also success. So Piro, it gets into your head a lot. And when you wake up and you're like, oh, look into your bank account first thing in the morning, oh, PD cheap it. But if you have different metrics to measure kichi are successful, I'll take an example of a course to design in school, right? Everything adds up to 100% at the end. And then participation is 20%. And then two quizzes or assignments, 20% each. And then there's two group assignments, 20% each, no, 10% each. And then the final exam, say everything at the end, Louis end up to 100%. So the reason I say this is you need to diversify what success mean to you. Don't put your eggs in one basket. That means I have failed in life. Of course you have not. So your participation in life means you wake up today and you feel great. You are participating in being alive. That count toward your 10%. Already you are successful just by getting out of bed. Um, the same thing as showing up every day to things you're excited about, showing up to the job that feels purposeful. That's already contributing to your success. Relationships, if there are people you can talk to about whatever you're going through openly and without holding back, and share your thoughts honestly, Keneke, you're winning in relationships. It's successful. It doesn't matter what kind of relationship. There's somebody in your corner you can talk to about anything. um, na ewu ya kara it might come with some sacrifices. You might sleep 10 hours a week, but if you look in your bank account and it makes you happy, you succeed. So what I'm saying is the modern success is actually not one definition. In kina successful. You get to decide, and that is the beauty of it. You hold the power to say I am successful or I am not successful. So don't sit around waiting for people to be like Ninja successful or in Kena successful. Go out there and define it yourself. Personally, some days my success is, waking up and finding something to eat because there has there have been days I failed at doing that. Can patch and show up how I would like to show up every day. So the big hype of money is there. Chasing money, you might let go of other goals you want in life, and you get to decide, is it worth it or is it not worth it. Personally, I'm going to continue chasing money, but I'm winning in other areas. Thank you.
Okay, contrasting it with the way society used to define success and today. Okay, what I see that there's nothing much that has changed. It's just, should I say, innovation, or just that the way life is and people are trying to adapt. Because when you see in the African traditional way, uh, to be successful was someone, let me say, first to be a leader, you need to have you have to be someone who is really managing your family. And when they used to select those that are having one wife, the chaos one wife can cause, but if you can manage them and they stay well, that one there they would say you're a good leader because you will manage a lot of the community chaos and the problem that the community faced. So, and also someone who respect him or himself, let not say or herself, because we're not having women leaders by then. So okay, women were doing their part somewhere to push men to lead the community. So respect was one of the most important thing, and every child was taught to respect the community values and work for the community. So integrity, like you're someone who should really um, carry yourself well, and that's it. So when we talk today, and also to be wealthy, like you have a lot of cows, you have a lot of goods. Um, so you are someone who was considered as uh, a good community citizen or leader by then. So when we talk about success today, many people today define success as being popular. Let me say an artist. That is your social status. You are popular. So people say that you are successful. Others define success through possessions that they have, assets, properties. Yes, and even in the community back, having a good relationship with your family was one of the amazing things. So to have a good family, your wife are staying well, the children are staying well, and it is in this modern society today, it is one of the things that we really consider a lot, like to have good relationship with someone, either a friend, family, or your partner. So at least to make life easy and comfortable. So yeah, it feel like you feel relief, and it is counted as success because it what people count as success today is what really take that energy. It is hard, right? It's hard, but if you have managed it, you have tried it. That's what we call success. So today to have that stable relationship is not easy, and there's a way that you have it, so you can say uh made it. So I'm successful. And even those days, it used to be like that also. And in the point of having many cows, then it is having many properties today. People say that when you have a car, a nice car, that when those who are having many cows. So you have many businesses. So then you are successful. And some writers say, like Simon Sinek said, success begins with your why, purpose. So, like, why do we exist? Some of us we did not ask to be created, or did not ask to exist. But if we exist, they may like the intellectual people in the world today. They usually see the world. This is a place where you spend part of your time, short of your time, and as you stay here, at least you contribute. You contribute to leave something important behind you in the world. So at least you make a world a better place at some point. Therefore, then you leave. So that's why they say to begin with why. Now you are here. Why are you living? What are you going to do? What is your purpose? What do you want to contribute to society? And we said before that in African traditional society, everything was about community. And what I just see now, it has just shifted to at some point to individual, but still people are urging us to make sure that we think about anything toward our community. What are you going to do to the community? What is your purpose? And the purpose, let me say, the purpose of your own purpose benefit you, then at the end benefit the community. So it's still, I see we have not yet left the community behind us. It is still, though to begin with you, then become part of the community. So regardless of having the possession, the asset, good relationship, most writers or most intellectual people out there believe that when you have your why and purpose in this world, to make life more fulfilling. Like now, Kwal is always there, happy on social media, talking about women and all those things. So at least to make her life fulfilling, and that's your purpose, because that's what she always like to talk about. So apart from being popular or your social status, possession, then uh, what are you contributing to the society? Your why and your purpose. So at least most of the writers or most of the intelligent people out there emphasize that, especially in this current life, about success. So that's how they define success. And even rich people, you you always see people saying that rich people always say that money cannot solve a problem or money is not everything. But the poor say, give me that money because it will solve everything. So yes, we need money. Yes, we need money. Even we need money to pursue your personal goal and the community goal. Yes, but even if you have money and you don't have purpose or you don't have your why, money cannot really do it all. At least when you have your why, you have your purpose. It will make life more meaningful. Like purpose and why is doing what you love. If you love entertaining people, you're always there making comedy. People are laughing. That's an effect. At least people are repressing out their mind. That is a contribution to society. You like think about the guys. At least you talk and you have a discussion with them, and at least at some point it an effect to them. If you are someone who like helping children, you write book about children and children will read, they will be happy. That's an effect, and that's what we call having purpose or your why toward yourself and community. So that's how success is defined today, and it still there's a way you define success to yourself. Like let me say for me, there's that day, like I said before, no kulimpa do into your task loy that day loy list. Then there's a day that I told you feel happy, right? You feel like today I've succeeded. That is success. And there's a day that things get below you will not really do them. You feel like you are disappointed in you are not really making any progress and all those things. So doing anything that makes you happy or anything that ki rate quite a low or korba low a part of success rather. Especially today.
Wow, 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 wow. Thank you so much. Dengusara, I think this is what are you talking about? People just call me just from us. Anyway, Nali look at it. Thank you so much, Adik and Alakir. Many people are, connecting and resonating with your messages. Someone was saying that Alakir maybe will be a good motivational speaker in future. That is really amazing. Thanks for that. And someone, Dengusara was, Jala Karama, my dear. No, you can, you were dropping points. So thank you. Look video look and share maybe no ran the non clipping and the no bella worry. So that's the purpose of this conversation. We just reflecting about what success look like from modern perspective and from traditional perspective, and how do we find alignment, so that we are rooted from our indigenous ways, but also aligning with where the world is going. And I was reading one comment from Adung Matiar. I laughed so hard, during our time, Kakuma, man, I kid Michael Lost Boy. Get successful. I remember some of my classmates, we jar Michael, he very young, he jar we moon the alpine man, yeah. We worship pan doing in check a bed, for some reason. So I was thank you Adu, for bringing that up. Being married to a lost boy at the time was a success. I don't know right now.
Oh,
It
it's.
has changed. Is
I'm
it
just gonna
still
say it. It is still there. And my sisters, if it's your goal, just make sure be in Bayer. I'm not gonna tell you. Nachacho Bayer, call me. We'll talk.
there? Like, okay. Oh, what a jet name.
Madam,
You membership program. You're going to
Make sure it's in Bayer. I will. You will see why it's a goal.
Okay, now it makes sense because coming to this part of the world to explore the world actually easy, but being married or being beautiful is a good dream. A ticket. So I want to say, like, to answer the question from my own perspective, what success look like today, and what it means for you define it for sure. I think actually Ala Kirken Dorcas actually handle very well. Success right now, it's about you know you defining it yourself. And I talk a lot about that. That's the meaning of empowerment that we talk about on this platform is you deciding what makes you successful. Personally, when I'm trying to calculate what success I want to pass, to get good grade on the man school, but great, but yeah, so that by you scholarship, that was my success. I just scholarship to you from primary school to high school. I was successful. I was happy. Other people, the success to maybe by you monyage, that was a success. Your success maybe about business idea baloy, that's success. Your success but the bagacha achieve blaze with good back I can your success, bakaja entertain or bapol kura. There's so many ways that success was measured, and you defining what success look like for you. It's really important. Even me, part of life, being tiak, and I wanted bad tiak, and when I achieved it, I was successful. I was happy about it because that is a stage in my life. So there are different stages of success, and you having intentional thought about it, plan about it, and knowing how to achieve, it's good. What is not success from my perspective and from perspective you turn is when it's defined by someone else. So then now you are just living according to other people expectation or society's expectation, family expectation, but not your own. So you will not feel fulfilled, and that is where when that happens, you can be a victim of anxiety, depression, or life challenges when you big more, and that is bad. I don't want any of us to fall in that category. And especially now what they are in our community, one of it added disadvantage. Man, what they need that to be successful, you need bara shopping, baka kukor, ba tingutia, ba meet kumu like a build into the system man much. But now what they are actually that system to be you have to be someone. But they are finding it somehow to empower themselves, by trick or streets. I don't know. So at the end of the day, it's up to you. If that is it, please choose what works for you. And if you are unsure, ask for advice. Sometimes I love mentorship, and even right now I have many mentors, and I encourage the value of mentorship, having someone to talk to. If you are afraid of being judged, there are many. You can have an AI mentor right now. Right now, the world has advanced in this modern reality, so you can go to AI, for example, ChatGPT or any other platform. How can I be successful so that I am like say, if you think Michelle Obama is successful, how can I be successful like Michelle Obama? A billion ideas and what to do to get there if it apply to your context. If you want to be successful, Bashir, Alakir or Addict, you just say, how can I be like Addict? And I will look for all information about Addict earlier online and then piece everything together and give you some step by step on how to be like her. You just follow that template. Anyway, that is some insight. You know, it might not some actually real, but it gives you some idea on how to get started. If you are afraid to use people, but you can always use people who are willing offering services that you can take. I don't want to dwell so much on that topic. There are many the other three questions that we need to finish. So the third question was about how Lakir, how modern pressure like social media and globalization influence our sense of of achievement and purpose or work or success. From your perspective, what you have learned, how do you think that social media or this globalized you can know what is happening, women in Indonesia, what is happening, women in Taiwan, women in Gwalior. How does that influence how you judge yourself based on what you see online?
Yeah, so even before the social media became such a big thing, always the if you're basing your measure of success outside of yourself, it's usually comparing, compare yourself with your peers. Koi tung kan yin yung uloy ka, ring dun yung uloy. I remember one day it was on Sunday. Kaja Jala Ben Kanisa, and they've made lunch, they've eaten, and then Nyalti Jala Baladir Lor, right? Lor dear group 17. And my auntie Jil, well, man, one guy, Chi Bella Jim, Bala Tinti and a Kaloy Tinka Ken. Kiarin dun loy ye Bella Tinga, because I like to chill at home and mind my own business. And she was seeing that I'm not enthusiastic about what my peers were doing. I would go sometime, but now if I don't feel it, I just don't go. So, kena a year and then social media has made it 10 times easier to compare yourself with people that, number one, you don't know them. Number two, they don't live in the same circumstance you're living in. Number three, you don't have access to resources that they have access to. Now, Chorana successful, I think $1 million. The factors and the environment that made it possible for them to get there, you might not have it. You might not have their mindset. Kiruluke push, like what actually motivate them to get there, you don't have it. So social media has made it so easy to compare the results. So you want to compare your results to the results of someone else when the process is not the same. Like ke loirana be choptiti achieving it 100%. Ke loy chan ba choptitoy and that will lead you down to desperate journey. Back in the day, what you talking about desperate journeys, and we know how they end. And desperate journey mostly pana iltana or pan damanji social media jalapet pintana, you get into depression. And depression is constantly comparing yourself with koi tungani yerun or ye sukul chewala tinetok o ye waliongo learning ai chika ke achipia chika che war. Now you are focusing on the results. You're missing a big step, what to be done to get there. And to bridge that gap, and that's why we talk a lot about mentorship. Na jara antinka chikapia tarere jalo, nyakai, how did you do that? Huh? And if that was an honest process and journey of hard work and applying themselves, kabi will guide through it. If it's someone who took a shortcut and they cannot explain how they get there, I don't feel like you need to look up to them. And I will be like, how this is how I got there, and the point you okay, tell me step by step how you got there, and you sit down and do your homework and see now. But it's all science. If you cannot replicate the results, kache success the way you think of it. Um, comes down to values. So your values may stop you from getting the results or kicked in. right? Na Iran kor wuju heritage, but you know you cannot take shortcuts, and shortcuts are usually lying about something, right? And if you're not the person Lebalu lie about something, there's no way you want to compare your results to someone else. You need to compare your process, and that's why I'm in sciences, but I'm always doing scientific research, like I call it Kurnos, and that is finding exactly what happened. So I would see something, I'm like, I wonder how that happened, and I'll go into doing the research. What exactly happened here for that to be the results? So I want to say when you're tea or weti, you see edit a chinning pia den chiloi, who a chin meet pure at a carbaloi can you reach out to them and say, hey, I really like your amazing work, Chaloi. Not really charity, Aqual who teaches the U-turn mindset, including a script on how to reach out to people, ask for mentorship, ask for advice, ask for coffee chat, and try to learn from them. And that is the most enjoyable experience for me, to learn how somebody did something, right? But these okay, this is how I thought about it, and this is how I went to work about it, and these are the people I talked to about it, and this is the exact amount of money I had to have as capital na a business about it. I be in Laretan. Now your goal do you beautiful young family. There is also mentorship to find your partner, the way family will build together. Ask, hey, Nyadit, I feel like at this point, they just took them and we settle down our family we built. Tija Kwalkur, a Kwalkur, you guys look very happy. Can you tell me how it happened? Huh? I would get including the things you don't want to know. So, ikaka apiat biran kaya rotlu align with the people you want to be like, or you can admire, and they are within your reach. That's more likely you will get the same success. You cannot wake up one day kulu align called by a president of the United States of America. It's a valid dream. How are you going to get there is the most important aspect of success. And I feel like I've lost track of what we're talking about. But Kalwelke, I'm not okay yet, so listen. Listen. Get your social media. Okay, I got it. Social media. Get your social media law is making it easy to compare results, not the process on how to get there. And I ran win very smooth, and you seem your peers are struggling with something. It doesn't have to be something super complicated. Chala, write a book about dating, how to date Sudanese men. People will buy it. Or how to date Sudanese women. People will buy it because they want to know how you got there to your happy young family or older family, right? So I argue that you need to focus on the process, and if you focus on the process, social media will not make you waver in your journey, that oh Kalua, maybe it's not the right thing because I'm not getting the results you, right? A quick journey then. Most of the success also could be luck. They were the right place at the right time and met the right person, and boom, they got a job. Personally, that's how I got my last job. I was talking about my frustration looking for a job, and a friend of mine happened to know somebody leaving a position, and they were like, hey, I think you will be a good fit for this. And I'm like, Absolutely. Resume dikin to a cake. Next thing I know, I'm sitting with the CEO and they're interviewing me. So you need to factor all this stuff in before you get into and aren't you successful? No, get to be the person defining that, not an Instagram post. Instagram post is just a picture with some lighting, and is a moment like clip less than a second Gului post. It doesn't show exactly what happened there that we think we know. Yeah, that includes a caption. Somebody write the caption, edit it, and post it. Again, doesn't mean it's 100% what happened. So the reality and social media are very different, and I hope people can know how to differentiate or how to investigate results they're getting on social media.
Yeah, Paul, can you repeat the question?
Thank you, Alakir. And the question was, many people are resonating with your point. The question was about, how, social media could globalization. Now everyone has access to anything that is happening in the world. How is that influence our self-worth or our definition of success? And so Alaki talk about something very important, that social media is just it can be a snap, it can be a picture, but if it's something that you think you admire, you see someone on social media, you can actually integrate that into your learning journey. If you see someone doing something on social media, you can reach out and ask them how did they, get there. If they cannot tell you exactly what happened, how to reach there, then they are living lie, and you should not compare yourself with them or be depressed about maybe they are just showing you live, but the reality behind the scene is different. Or that using shortcut to get there, and shortcut, what happened. So, what is your perspective, Dorcas?
Okay. Okay. Kinye, okay, most important thing is that okay, kakwa here occasion most case competition like you want to compete, right? Yun ko ba chen edit by benin or even in your hara che ba ja chere in ko wang edit war. Yeah, ye lo bait ya dear ya wande. So how even they don't really make us go anywhere. They even steal your energy and joy. There's one of my like should I say that like when you compete with someone, it is you that is giving yourself a burden and stress. Why? You don't know where they were raised up, right? Itinyike muke were their family was their family okay? What thing are they? Yeah. So family dane piet ku like lime den on yeke beer. You didn't chithonga lime de. For you, maybe you came from different location, different life story, different everything. You call you compare and could be anything. You mean you don't know you raise up. But right now, pide you don't know non type pide. No you struggle daily what to eat, where to sleep at it. It may not be the same as where you sleep and where you eat. So where do you get that energy to compare with someone that you don't know? Actually, the fact remains that in this life we are very different, and we are reaching the same goal with different abilities and different support from the families, different everything. So if you compete, you are just causing problem to yourself. It is you that is going to be stressed up, your energy, your joy, it's going to be cut off. Why? Because we are competing with someone that you don't know. So Alakir has put it very well that too much, right? And that's why we have mentors out there. Like some mentor is someone that you love. Like for me, I always say one of the women that I admire is Michelle Obama. See, I was young, I don't know. But whenever I just listen to her broadcast, how she talk, mostly, so I just feel like, what time? Or be like this. I'll be like this lady. I don't know her history. I don't know what she went through that have shaped her to be like that. I don't know. To maybe different from mine. But I just like how she hold herself or how she keep herself. Therefore, I can read there differently. The second of video, one of different capabilities. Like for me, man, we have like on telo. I know men do ni nyipyo. Men do na chak tiek chirmulo ka chak ni. No men ni nyipyo la par le iparo. So people are wired differently. Ano kichi ng'e live, ichalo bia mit kun get dit cake. So why do you want to compete with someone? No, I kichi live naturally. Seriously, na kichi live loide. So the main thing is that you just have to know what you can do better, right? Knowing what you can do better is very important thing. Therefore, when it come to when it comes to social media today, in social media, like most of those very nice pictures that we take, you put on your very nice clothes, very nice makeup. Then I take that picture. If you come and see me physical, it will be different thing. Therefore, why are you trying to take that as very serious thing? That is done for short time, for a specific time. let me say I go for a tour, I go somewhere, then I take pictures in that nice building. That's for that time. So what is the problem with that? Those things, those are the things that we just do for time being and all those things. Therefore, there are a lot of things that happen today. Even you can see today on TikTok or what. People are putting on nice clothes. Undu yini intini kudwa isuri, you put it there because you want to show that inga unpiga nani intini kene. It's okay. And it's very it's, it's nice. So if I see it, there's no way that I will just say that I will compete or feel like that because I know time will come I will have that house. Yes. Even the house I am in now. You know, when you don't compete, right? When you don't compete, you feel like anytime you appreciate what you have. When I was in high school in primary school, one of the teachers, science teacher said that by the time you grow up and you realize that you wish you had not allowed yourself to be influenced by your fears, then you realize you have wasted your time. Catch your fear influence. If you have control of fear influence, everything is okay. Because fear influence, people do think to please, not call you to please others there, right? Come on, let me say you are a young couple. Let me say in Asian Docas, you are married, you paid your picture, then you do this thing, when they are all those things. One of the guy I am together with in alone when you go to TikTok and you see how people are placing their husband, you feel like you are left behind. And I told her, Madam, relax. That's not a problem. You'll get your man at the time. No, generally the akin will still get yours. Jeleben, Jeleben for me these days I've left TikTok because of the algo. That you very stressed. So if you don't compete and you know everything is about you, there are a lot of influence. Even if you see today, social media, many people are using it in a good way. Some people are creating content or what you love. Some people are comedians, some people are doing what, and at the end they will be paid for that, right? So there are those that are using social media to please others and they show up. That is what they like also. Why is it bothering you? You need to win bala ko yen kide yen kini arkane. So therefore chara kilo ni na ye kita ni ara kilo an approach. Na chiran chili then you leave it. You leave it and you see what you can do. And the most important thing that everywhere you go, know who you are, what you want, how you will achieve it, who can help you and support you, whom can you reach to. So again, again, most important thing, because if you know that you will never be influenced, you know every time when you go, you will just add, you'll add to the method or step that you want to achieve the thing of yours. Maybe a chirant low, quite low achieve you has low achieve it, then you add another step telling you to achieve that. Not to copy them, right? Because the story is different, the resources they have are different, the mind they have are different, the capabilities they have are different. Like for me, I may stay the whole night until do my work and you may not manage it. Therefore, when they want to work toward the same project, we shall do it. We shall finish the project and submit before deadline, but with different capabilities and different time. Therefore, no competition. And there's no way if you don't have competition, you don't have influence. You will just enjoy your time every time you go. And what you do is just that you add step on how you can reach your goal. So influence on social media is real, but by the time you learn to know yourself, everything will be fine. That's what I can say.
Wow, wow, wow. What a great perspective. So, Alakir approached this question, the influence of social media and globalization on self worth or definition of success from a cooperation perspective. How can you see what is happening around you and try to learn from it? And then now I actually approach from a competition perspective. And I like both perspective. I like the competition perspective. Sometimes it's good. I love competition. I compete. I'm a competitor. Like I feel the energy competition can actually make you achieve your goals. You want to compete, by how beautiful you will be waking up in the morning, do your fitness routine. That one a competition perspective. If you want to like you want by a very slim chala kid so that by a very nice by model shape, you will put in the work to get there. If you approach from cooperation perspective, you will have been like, how did you jump type of food because being in shape, fitness, and like type of diet, the physical activity you do, even the mental activity, like you feed into your mind because what you watch, and you into your environment so that you have like accountability to it. So those things work together, and I want to bring it back to our community. And what I hear a lot often is that, you know, we compete from an envy or jealous perspective. That one, okay, bad competition. Can come on, well, yeah, like yeah, look, okay, you tan. Yeah, good talking that. So that one, you are not, you already block your mind. You will not learn, and you are not even competing to be where they are. So that's where the loss comes. Or and they would like and it's posting a lot yeah, you walk man. Maybe I will meet like a town meet got starving. So you are not even learning, from that perspective, you are not learning, you are being judgmental. So how do when you think now my next question is how do we, balance, taking back to our topic, definition of success or when how to apply success or how to chase success from, a traditional sense, like aligning a traditional values of cooperation, of community, of, relationship building, of legacy to a modern pride of, material possession, of careers, or of advocacy and visibility that Lord good to you. And how do you blend those things together and make come up with a learning model success that naira and ping it or a video la ping can we learn from it? How do you balance those perspectives to to help someone make a U-turn? Maybe you can start with your lucky.
Sorry, can you repeat the question? You're muted.
So the question is, how do we, blend, the traditional wisdom or sense of, what success looked like or how success was chased with the modern aspiration of right now, like how success is framed, how it is chased, how it is achieved, so that we can have like a clear, healthy model of success that if someone is watching this U-turn and they follow that model, they can be happy with the success they have based on their level or based on the capacity or capabilities that can share.
Thank you. First of all, it's like the modern definition of success and the old one are presenting a very huge challenge to women, where you are expected to succeed based on the traditional definitions of success: get a family, raise them, do everything. At the same time, be successful at your career, show up 100%, prove that you're not distracted by family. These are very two conflicting ways of life, but we are expected to harmonize it. And I just want to say that having done one thing and not having succeed in the other, it's not your individual shortcoming. Like, I've had conversation with people killing it at their work but feel like they're not they're not, I don't know how to put this, that akin traditional way of success for a woman akin could fulfill, that is staying too long you can hit the ag, and people will throw it in your face a lot. Or in be in the ag, and you see your colleagues that decided to stay in school went on to have jobs and seem like they're living the best life. I want to say not one is better than the other. So, Kika Balwele is to choose your struggles. Choose your battle. Yekuno kar, what do you want the most? And I've seen some people using different way of combining it. Now, Chagol at the beginning to focus on your career success, then you focus on that. And there are modern ways to make sure you also have kids. Now, Iran call me later on in life. There's technology. If you want to look into it, we can talk offline. Now, you when they're really young, there has been incidents of people graduating with their daughters and their sons. When they've already had kids. So that is the form of doing one form and then followed by the other. And there are people who are handling both. So I am still figuring it out. I don't have the answers. I have tools that I use to make sure I'm moving forward in my journey every single day, every single month, every week, every year. We do have the U-turn method class taught by Akwal Philip, and trust me, I watched the graduation of the last cohort. They absolutely value the information, the tools that they can use to build their next chapter. So first is you have to recognize, and for someone to recognize that they're struggling, that's step number one. It means you want to do better, and it means you know what your goal is, and it means you are ready to act, in ready to start doing exactly what align with your purpose. You can have it both. It's not going to be easy, but showing up is the first step. So step one, I have leave the link in the chat. You sign up. If you don't have the money to pay for the class, talk to Aqua Philip and myself. We probably can find something, figure something out, right? And then step number two is knowing that it's not going to be easy. I can you didn't meet a cheat card, you lateral lawyer could have been a cheat card. So you know, covering it is not going to be easy. And this one you choose, can you enjoy easy is that is what you're choosing for yourself. A check chiranding like in right? Because now loy because a chiranding a like in yin while I support para chatia, but you meet kungo. You wake up one day dreading that choice. Chaloy, a channel where a chica loy impose on me. Oh, nache, like people say, throw this word at their kids. Nache couldn't we meet the pedia pit. No, nobody nobody told you to go have kids kubamit bakajaman group. Or imila to you work, and you like, oh, if it wasn't for the feminist women that made sure women can work, I would have had easy life being a stay-at-home mom and wife. Teach Kato, go stay at home. They work 24/7. It is not easy. Um, the thing is, when it comes from the inside, it makes it that much easier. That can make it always choose by yourself. Nobody's forcing you to do it. Number two is asking for that support. Very important. Like I cannot emphasize this enough. Now, Tosu Coolidge, you just go ahead and talk to people, build your relationship. Jam can run when you're being led to the next step of your journey, your career, your journey, you know. Chaben on the U-turn today. Congratulations, you've done the work. In Chaben, you've showed up for yourself. Look, Baloy, you found people who are talking about similar things that are aligning with your values. You are being offered an opportunity at China Go. You're being offered an opportunity to learn more and to have the access to information should you decide to pursue your purpose. So I would say share this video. I will. And in Koito in your group, you're more successful in a group than by yourself. Now, Jinjir Matku Kero Chikulu join, and you guys are excited every day to show up to the class for the U-turn method. It will make it that much easier. Number two is sign up for the course. Talk to Akwal, Adich, myself. Like it will help you in life. Just talking to people. I used to be very shy. I'm still breaking out of it. But the one thing that's gonna help you is talking to people. The audacity to show up to a person and say, hey, I have a question. Do you have a minute? And you might be hesitant at first, but what you should remember is quite Jamin Kenekeka are just as invested in your success as they are invested in their own success. Like I can go and brag and say, hey, I mentored this young girl. She ended up doing her master's degree. Now she works for this big international organization, and we check in every now and then. That is a sense of purpose for myself to mentor young girls. So yin ka yin nyan tin kor ku ye no, just go and talk to these women. They want to help you. First, you need to approach those people who are there to help you, and then all you need to do is speak up. A low closed mouth cannot be fed. We also accept young men. If you're a youth and you want to take the next step, we have a network of people. Might not be me, Adich, or Akwal who would do this work, but we'll connect you can around the way, right? Or around the being on how to get there. So that's my advice of, just talk to people, nurture your relationship, talk to people you want to be like. Koi you admire, just go in their DM jam can cake. Even koi can kinin ka kon you can cake. They feel that you value their opinion. They have something to offer that is not money, sometimes money. But don't go asking for money. Ask them how to make the money. So yana kaba diet. Ayoko investors of absolutely go pitch to them. Go, hey, I have a great business idea. I think it's gonna make a lot of money. Do you want to invest? Actual pitching. We can teach you how to pitch to investors as well. So that has been how I do it so far. So good. And if you have any other things that have worked out for you, strategies that worked out for you, please leave them in the comments. You're very brilliant people and audience, and I'm always learning from Koi. We leave their ideas and their questions in the comment section. I read every single comment. I might not respond to it, but I do learn from the U-Turn family every single Saturday and even beyond. Thank you.
Okay. Everybody? Alright, so how do we blend traditional wisdom to the modern one? Okay, if I compare and contrast, in traditional society, women, there are things that women used to do. Though, I can take a thing, let me say, in the front line, but the work behind the scene. To see the women leaders, they work behind that. To see the male leaders, they work behind that. They make sure that everything is like on there. Yeah, okay, poor. That was an economical contribution to the society. Uh, okay, myth. That was social contribution to the society. Okay, benefit, and spiritually they used to do that. Physically, there was a way that they can do it. So, and coming to today, women are getting in the front line with the men, right? So, how are we trying to blend that and see as a woman for this generation? So, what I can say that I said before, Kutuing to identify the opportunities for the generation. So, in this generation, women are getting in the front line compared to generation on women in Kelu work behind the scene. So are we able to identify that in one of the point? So those days, women jam work, we have women leaders today. Even I jam any they are everywhere, but it was not there. So are we trying to embrace that or any of the generation? Second to it, for us to contribute in economically today, imagine you can is for you to have a business. Go on there, okay, ku make up, ku yes, that was the contribution in economically. Today, what is the contribution? What is our contribution economically? Is to have a business. Maybe you go to school and you get a job, and that is that one. So right now, the main thing is to identify the opportunities we have as the girl in the generation. Therefore, the opportunity is going to school, right? You're not going to school. Another opportunity is making it is to have a business. Because if we see the life today, even our own parent are struggling with their life. Our own, especially with this economy, they are struggling with their life. So, and the need of this economy and this life now, they are very different. That no one can really cater for all of them. Therefore, unless you are very young girl, that's when you are still in your parent responsibility. But when you are grown up, then the contrast of traditional and today is to make money. Or maybe yes, to make money in whatever way. Whether you make money, can you put money on the provide cake, you make money. Whether you make money with the skill that you get, maybe let me say a skill that will make you to get job. that is making money to contribute economically to your life and let me say other people life. Therefore, and it is all about innovation and day-to-day life, especially knowing what you want because those days what you want wasn't a priority because ibuka purnung loba right now a panamping. So you have to really know what you want, then you go for it. Managena like that know what you want and after knowing it by you there, how will you get it? So that's how I see of us blending the traditional way to the modern way. So seeing how women and girls used to contribute economically then and how can I do that today? How can I do that today to make sure I contribute economically to my life and other people's life? Then you'll see there are very many opportunities of which people are contributing to their life and the community life economically today. Going to school, you cannot go to school, learn a skill, learn it because going to school is a skill, but it will take time. And if you cannot do the very many skill there, then I know me makana you need to make it to do what. As long you want to be economically okay, you can do it as a girl. So those are the opportunities that we are seeing today. Yes, and even if you want to have a business like we said before, you can learn how to be let me say how to pitch, right? So that's another skill of today. Therefore, it is identifying the opportunities of today as a girl and embracing it. You know, right now there's a choice to be a good mother, at the same time a career woman, at the same time a leader, or to be only a good mother, which is not bad. To be yes, so you either combine all or you become one, right? Like, and if I look back, those days they used to combine them because I think but today still you have right to only be a good mother and that's it. To be a good mother, be a good leader, be a career woman, then you manage them. So it is just upon us and I don't see anything wrong of not not seeing how women used to work there. The difference is working behind the scene and front line today. So if you don't want to accept and work in the front line, it's fine. If you want to embrace your generation opportunities, well and good. But the fact remains that the life that we are in today, even in the community today, you can see right now young men are turning to sugar mummies. Why? They need money. They need money. That's it. People are tired of providing for so long. To be only provider, people are tired of it. Even so, it will just depend on what you want. And like I said before, you can see either right now to first have kids, then you achieve your goal and purpose. So it does not matter what time you ship it, as long you know your purpose and what you want anytime. Or you want to combine all of them. Have a family and you do them. It still is fine. You first do one. Say, let me first have some skill, then I become a mother or have my family behind. So it is upon you. So that's what I can say, and that's how we are trying to blend it. So and also with the point of uh, in African traditional society, the thing was about the community development and achievement. And today, yes, it starts with us. Then whatever thing you do, either a business you sell the community, that's making the impact the community and economically and impactful to you. So that's it. You cannot exist without the community, and the community cannot exist without you. It is you that is a community. So that's what I can say. And today, as we're celebrating Girl Child International Day, and I watched a clip before about Michelle Obama talking about the initiative to be a law that support the girls outside there. So the main thing is to fight the barriers that are stopping girls to achieve their goal and careers. So yes, as the community is fighting them, what are you doing to also fight it? Yes, individually, what are you doing to fight it? Because they cannot fight for you when you are not fighting for yourself. So and just for me, I just know that, and I believe it will start with the action and the decision that you make within you. because you cannot find yourself somewhere, or okay, let me say in a good designer when you did not make a decision to be a good designer. So you have to make a decision. I know most of us have a lot of challenges we face, like hell marriages and what and all those things. But what I have seen today, we are also contributing toward that. Yes, the community is doing that at some point, but we are contributing toward that, especially not taking the accountability for our life. Yes, you want to just stay home, you don't want to learn any skill, to glue which warrior and which ATM, you don't want to do anything. And even you can see today, most in our community, most of those women that have that did not take the accountability for their life as a girl. You know, being a girl is very good. There are very many people who are married today. You don't have, we don't have a child that is crying. Uh, you can't do anything, which is very, very free. Most of them men feel like they want to come back to be a girl again. Because it is hard. It is hard that you have kid, you have what you have what. But girl to girl, please use this time. Itu kuliah gue learn a skill. Learn a skill and you're gonna support yourself economically and I move on.
Wow, that's very powerful. I know what they are there. Well, like many of us for sure. I could be do nyere je kene wa ka dam ju pe ju mis ku je aru ko community and very hard. So when you see, I think that's very strong message for your day to day. Na dia ine ya. It get on bini ka ku cho pe because now a lot I think like change 180 you turn up and that you turn going back. And it becomes really very hard because now it's not about you anymore. And that is why it's happening right now in our community. The Arabic and it is bringing a lot of chaos in our the setup of our community and the setup of our social system and economic system. And I want to take this back to the question is how do we find alignment? How do we blend the tradition and the modern of success? First of all, Carbaconian gave my area of expertise and area of my passion as well is that, you know, when we talk about tradition, why top people walk in our indigenous home, in our indigenous land, in our indigenous resources, using our indigenous ways of knowing. So na to community to kwando na kene echo pinye kere community. You land is there. And land in the most important asset in life. So pinduni pur, pinduni la kwanye tim, pinduni la ngerno, ni la kwanye tau, ni la kwanye chwe, kuluta, all the wild fruits, all the animal you have to get free mates. Kula bioga, kula bioga, kula chap. So like economically, we everything was sought out. So success into at the level when it's comfortable that you can have peace of mind. Thank you for your question. Get your happiness and peace of mind can core areas of success. And what we are just discussing here is how do we get that happiness or how do we get that peace of mind? If, for example, you are rooted in immigrant into Australia, into Canada, into US, into Europe, into East Africa, Kenya, you are paying rent every day, buy. You need money to pay that rent, otherwise you will be kicked out, you'll be a homeless. So that you are not now thinking from traditional perspective where into then one expand one land inherited from generation. Now you are in someone else's land. So there are nuances to how you define now success in this capacity. Now to pay rent, you need money. So now money become a tool to give you peace of mind because you will pay your bills, you will eat, so you need money, you need to have income. And that income come from either business or from work, either physical work or mental work or whatever work that you will do to get that money. Then it will give you peace of mind because you will meet all your living needs. Uh-huh. So now in modern society, you can better transport where there in our traditional sense. In Clare, ba chat ma, get your ba burgwale, check the ba burgwale, ba chat Ina bari ari chuk wala wuring or wala bai kulo duri chuk ma buru wala. You don't need anything. So you have peace of mind. You just chat kulo you get the air ku chat with groups. Life was good. But right now you need to have a car to move you around. Yeah, but our problem if now no meet now when we are now talking about value transition gini enya kutik. Now you take but chat when me tira ready chari ku kwa jilat ku yesu ita on ka chira now that's why you need to have a car. So for you to be successful, right now you need to have those material resources. You need to have car being moved from one place to another. So that is success. You need to own a house so that if you are there being kicked out or have enough money to sustain your rent. You need to, you need to have like, career continuity, right? That, I think if your income of ben until you retire and you retire afterward because anything now money. So people, when we talk about finding alignment, is knowing what used to happen and why was it like that. Why was the focus more about community building, about relationship, because the basic needs were covered by the setup. But right now, success, kawaii immigrant, kawaii, uh, people to get displaced, or how you call yourself into to pay into a modern setting, into a city into jail, into rock. Now you have to identify what do you need rock to have peace of mind and to have happiness. And that is it boiled down to what we discussed earlier. When my last U10 message is, having agency. Having agency is having, having, you know, freedom and power and resources to make a choice and be accountable for that choice. Yeah? Be responsible for that choice. So having choice, if you need to have choice, my friends, you need to have money. Money, you'll have choice. You need to have talent that can give you money or can give you access to money. You need to have skills that can translate to money that can do help you get the basics of life. You have a network. That is, you need to be in an environment where people are growing, people are inspiring you, people that you can leverage, right? To give you. So that's how I'd say, I'd say that money is life in modern setting. So for you to have peace of mind to be successful, you need to sit down and say, what do I have that can give me peace of mind, that can give me happiness, that can open door for you. And someone reminded us that Pure near the will and came made it. Right? Actually, not. Na chi will near. I don't think I take near a yoke or the core by you. And my friend, even I chi and core, you need to be no peace of mind because I keep in I email ya can no video the that you look and I email ya look very expensive. Ba men ya yin ko dian yin ko kaga yit ba den ti mana la kirin ko make up in ko wig or weave or hair bin nom na braid in ko saba chi ngi chi in ko wetu yet in ko in ko monthly allowance bin in dora do ya tit in ko so many things. And so those things are chiga yoga about the chin will ni arin ko with bin kala watch. And so the word of encouragement is for you to empower yourself. And my U10 message maybe is that I don't know if Ala Kira and I did you want to take 1 minute and by U10 message by is that you need to know your basics, cover your basics, clean your manual, or have plan on how to get it. It can be, whatever plan that you take. Make sure that, choice, plan being period with. And to families, my U10 message is empower your girls. From time being, just treat them as if they were boys. Like this preferential treatment, any man more genuine, treat differently, can man, yeah, give man more agency pure man pure dependency no impact. So accord bugu ni that kid man you can be as equal as your brother socially, politically, and economically, and you need to know where to get money, how to get it, how to be decent human being, how to contribute human being, and how to be visible. So when you alignment, traditional they are powerful, but I can't jam about it. More than now, why jam about it? And we just need our society to embrace this reality, to make a U-turn and welcome, because we cannot live in traditionally in a modern setting. It doesn't work. It's just like what we live modernly in a traditional setting. So you have to find a way to know what you can do in whatever setting you are in. Okay, okay, my U-turn message kana know what you can do in whatever situation you are in and have a choice and agency to do those. Alakir, and about 1 minute, Jala will. 1 minute low could be here.
Absolutely. I completely agree with you, Aqua. Like all those things will take you out of the toy thing. The one word I want to add is AKHL hope. And I'll tell the story of Koila Tong. When people go to war, there is this I got to letters from their families. There's a letter from your family, there's letter from school, ye kwachula tangu ye mitra school ye write a letter to the people in the army. Kia lueke kwaito in the army, it gives them hope. They don't know for sure they'll make it back home, but as long as there is a connection back home, you know at some point you'll make it out. Kika Balweletan is whatever situation towing thin. A friend of mine once said, everything I'm going through is actually temporary. I don't think it's gonna be forever. And I looked around, I'm like, wow, I never thought about it like that. And that's how we need to think. Because look back, to towing thin mishklai kun layin katin ben. And the simple test to show that everything can change is now ran kan yin by long towing thin and they made it out of the community or they made it out of whatever limitation and obstacles to in Katin. If there's one person you can name, then you can also make it out. The same thing, when whatever degree you've done and they found a job, that's your hope. One day you will find that job. Iranchi lost all their family members or it's gone through a lot of loss and they still made it out. Ning story tung the Balwell Ran made it out, that is also me. I see myself in them. So Kibalwele is always have hope that things are temporary. Kangai temporary. Your good things or your bad things, they are temporary. And what determines that is you being hopeful of situation abroad gear. Kuna achi hopeful of situation abroad gear in any choice spiritual death. Like you've already given up on yourself. Achira and lebin kwenbe. And that brings me to the second word is no one is responsible for you. You are responsible for yourself. Ayuku keredini kanisa. Yine diedi tok kuyumi jali tok. That is very true. And I think right and thing around you, and the first thing you say is, I'm gonna take absolute responsibility of how things are going to change from now on. If I do something or don't do anything, like the action or the lack of action is going to show up on how my future is going to be. Can be learn further. We know external factors, your tongue, your economic, you have no control. What you have control is what you can do. Yung baloyo kol be pido girich. Yineka korbata. And if you think, oh, it's so terrible, below, you are wrong. Nera Anuto in the exact same situation, and they changed their life. Because of what? Nomdena can we give up? And that's in Werba one can week. You have not given up on yourself. That's why you are here today. That's why you are seeking how to do better, right? So I'll leave it at that. Thank you. Thank you for taking time on your Saturday to come listen. Thank you, Akwal and Dorcas, for sharing this space with me. I'm inspired. I'm hopeful. I am I take responsibility for what happened to me from this day moving forward. Adich, you can go next.
Okay, the utensil that I have today is that opportunities to work at this time calling that were not there. They are not doing but when near getting people. Get your there. Give yourself time. Like for me, I also do that. I give myself time. If I try this kuchulu, I give myself time. I try this until I no get a little. Second of it is that as some people are fighting to make sure that the challenges girls are facing there. Also fight for yourself, because if they fight for all the girl and you don't fight for yourself, then it make no impact or anything at all. So you fight for yourself, embrace the opportunity that we have today. Like today, we have the opportunities of going to school, we have the opportunities of learning any skill that was not there. So let's try to embrace such thing. Second of it, I know it is very hard. Again, na kor ka you know you may not have anything to learn a skill, but if you try by with me, reach out to some people. Some people are always there to help someone who really want to help herself, especially as a girl. You know, in our community, maybe right now, man, but girls, like let me say, girls are vulnerable people. Yes, we have to accept that we are vulnerable. Because let me say today, you you may be married and thing can happen. I took thing today in the community. Most of the women that have lost their husband, how they suffer. You will be left, then Jananga taken window to be taken and you'll be left alone. And that's how you'll really remain as real vulnerable person. And starting from there is hard. The kid are here, this one is here. But now if you in time on chinelo and you always try to push yourself, at least yes, you will lose how someone was really supporting you because you cannot really make it alone. But at least you even now to be a to be a girl thing be somehow better. That's why at least you make sure we empower ourselves to make sure we stand under condition and we don't become victim of some circumstances that are happening in the community today that really make us, because kina vulnerable. Even now meet you are raising the kid and you are the one that's going to be the father of the kid. So anything can happen, and it really make life very very hard. Even I think in man, you really feel that that's why I mean, okay, some people been they always say that why in any in part, but the fact remain most of the work you know they are. Man, an example of Albania, call you talk windows in the community today, they really go through a lot compared to men. Yes, and that shows that you are very vulnerable and you have to really equip yourself every day. Yes, that's what I can say. Learn to embrace the opportunity. Give yourself time until you get what you like and what you love. Reach out to people and you ask, because when you call business, when I know business cover low, you call a business alone. Okay, TK challenges you can low pace. The benefit you kuye kama goal ke and all those things. The same way to skill. So you reach out to someone and call be quiet. Call back ni low quite quite ben quiet. You can try many time and you will get at the end. As long you want to do it, you'll do it. The problem is our ignorance and not taking accountability. But at the end, we need to shift those things because the life, nothing is permanent. And at least at some point, we are not left vulnerable that we cannot stand up for ourselves.
Thank you so much, and that really brings us to the close. Which you later chol dut yeah adung matiang very George Ruben Panchol as always. Thank you for watching, for contributing, for sharing the message, and for really making this discussion very rich. Today, what is success you could redefine? We have attempt to redefine it from women perspective, but we are leaving the male perspective to you to put it in the comment section. What does success look like in the past for men? Was it teaching God a Bible to provide, to protect, and lead the communities? What does success look like right now for men? Where now I can talk we bear thought etong galama kater etong chasing material wealth kater, yeah, different ways. So how does success look like for men, and how are men aligning, or coming to realities of that what used to be successful in the traditional setting, in the village setting, is no longer the same in town setting, in cities, in abroad or immigration centers, stuff like that. So put that in the comment section. We will engage. We usually go back to the comment after the show and respond or read or even preserve those messages for future sharing and for learning purposes. So let us know your thoughts and your U-turn message in the comment section. If you are new at the U-turn at Dukajatian, why Ben every Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern time. If you are based in East Africa time, that is like 8 p.m. If you it is Central Africa time, it's 7 p.m. Our people are there. It's usually night for a number of friends in Australia, but they usually watch after, and we usually arrange alternative conversation to align with their time zone. So thank you for always coming and engage with us. If you know someone who you think is contributing meaningfully in the community and our organization and our business, a leader, critic, or erranti, and you want Kubuku spotlight on our platform, work inspire, work educate, do recommend to us, and a book is spotlight every Saturday. So now you can wait and share the message, engage with the message, and what will be you next Saturday. Bye bye for now. And thank you, my ladies.